Hello, sports fans, and welcome to our in-depth analysis on the latest headlines in women's basketball. Today's segment is packed with significant updates that are shaping the landscape of the league. Our top story: Caitlin Clark's phenomenal rise in the MVP race, and the heartbreaking end to A'ja Wilson's dream season due to a devastating injury. Stay tuned as we break down these pivotal moments and their implications for the sport.
That conversation right now. The question at hand is for you, Carolyn Peck. What does this injury to A'ja Wilson mean for the Las Vegas Aces?
Okay, let's look. The last time A'ja Wilson missed a game was August 13th of 2019. She has put in work over 3 seasons then. So, look, this is an opportunity for everybody else to step up and A'ja Wilson to get a little rest as the Aces make a run into the playoffs.
So we think back to this championship run by the Aces last season, and they were down 2, still managed to get it done on the road in New York. However, this year, I'm concerned, not just because of the monster numbers that we just looked at, but also because of the emotional gravitas that A'ja Wilson brings as a leader to the squad. Focus has been a word that we have heard this team admit of themselves.
Let's dive into our first major story: Caitlin Clark's remarkable performance this season. The Iowa standout has been making headlines with her unparalleled skill and leadership on the court. Clark, known for her sharp shooting and playmaking ability, has taken the league by storm, making a compelling case for the MVP award.
Cheryl Swoop's one of the OGs of the WNBA, and when you look at her or hear her talk, you understand why the WNBA never took off during Cheryl Swoop's time. She was one of the OGs. If she was one of the stars, it was unlikable and unwatchable, and it still is. And she still is. But I also got to tell you, it's another example of the great Caitlin Clark staying above the fray. Cheryl Swoops won't let anything, including facts, get in the way of her vitriol toward Caitlin Clark, and Nancy Lieberman will not tolerate this slander. I'm a Nancy Lieberman fan.
Caitlin Clark's numbers this season are nothing short of extraordinary. She's been a key factor in her team's success. Her ability to score from anywhere on the court, combined with her vision and basketball IQ, has made her a standout player in the MVP race. Caitlin Clark has redefined what it means to be a game changer. Her leadership, combined with her incredible skills, makes her a prime candidate for MVP. She has not only performed at a high level, but has also elevated the play of those around her.
Is a woman who has captivated the entire globe. Sells out arenas everywhere she goes. Now she's a member of the Indiana Fever. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Clark.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts. And what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year. Okay, now let's not talk viewership, let's talk ticket sales. Bear with me. Ticket sales grew in 2023 by 16% from 2022. Ticket sales have grown by 93% in 2024. What that means is without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would have taken till 2029 or 2030 to get to where Caitlin Clark has gotten them today. Okay, we've talked ticket sales and we've talked viewership. Now let's talk about regular season viewership, not draft viewership. Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years.
Clark's rise to MVP contention isn't just about her individual brilliance, but also about her team's overall performance. Her leadership has been instrumental in guiding her team through a challenging season. But as we celebrate her achievements, we also need to address a somber update that has shaken the basketball community. A'ja Wilson, the Las Vegas Aces star forward and reigning MVP, has unfortunately suffered a severe injury that will sideline her.
Becky Hammond already on the floor.
This news comes as a major blow.
That was a hard fall taken there.
Wilson's injury
Drive.
occurred during a recent game, and initial reports suggest that it could be a season.
She jumped off.
About focus. When they won
Talk
the
about
first
it.
championship, it was the first year that they had Becky Hammond. The second season, it started with some adversity. Look how it finished. And they played without two starters, without Chelsea Gray, without Kia Stokes.
Right.
And it was the emotional, really, focus that this team had when they weren't able to play. Now, your superstar who has carried you all season long, I think that might be the focus to go, you know what? We got to help somebody who's had us on her back all season long.
Well,
The details are still emerging, but this injury could have significant implications for the Aces' playoff prospects and the overall dynamics of the league. From what we know, this injury is quite serious and will require a substantial recovery period. Aja Wilson's presence on the court will be sorely missed, and it will certainly impact the Aces' chances this season. The timing of this injury is particularly unfortunate, as Wilson was having another stellar season and was a strong contender for the MVP award. Her impact on the game is undeniable, and her absence will be felt both on and off the court. With Wilson out, the MVP race has become even more intense. Caitlin Clark's performance has gained even more significance as she looks to solidify her position as the frontrunner. Let's take a closer look at how her stats compare to Wilson's this season and what it might mean for the MVP race going forward. As we analyze the statistics, it's clear that both players have made significant contributions to their teams. Clark's exceptional scoring and playmaking contrast with Wilson's dominant presence in the paint and defensive prowess. The absence of Wilson shifts the narrative, making Clark's performance all the more crucial. The injury to Aja Wilson certainly opens the door wider for Caitlin Clark. However, it's important to remember that the MVP race is not just about individual performance, but also about how a player's team fares. Clark will need to continue her high level of play to secure the award. As we move forward, the impact of Aja Wilson's injury will undoubtedly be a major talking point. Her absence creates a significant void in the Aces lineup, and it will be interesting to see how her team adapts in her absence. In the coming weeks, we'll be closely following both Caitlin Clark's continued pursuit of the MVP award and the Aces' efforts to adjust to life without Wilson. Here's a look at some key games to watch that could influence the playoff picture and MVP race. These upcoming games will be crucial for both Clark's team and the Aces. How teams adapt and perform in these high-stakes matches will be instrumental in determining the final MVP standings and playoff outcomes. Before we wrap up, we'd like to hear from you. How do you think Caitlin Clark will fare in her quest for MVP? And what are your thoughts on the Aces' chances without Aja Wilson? Share your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and analysis. Thank you for joining us. This has been your comprehensive update on the latest in women's basketball. Stay tuned for more sports news and updates. Until next time, keep your game strong and your spirit high.